Hi, Ken again. This would be number 3 for today alone. This is my new site. I got hacked. This site is called my initials JKM Theology. And I can't access my old site because I got hacked, and that's just all there is to it. So if you see my face in the other 30-some videos that I made that are still out there, I can't answer any questions or answer any comments. But it's still out there for you to view, and you form your own opinions. And what I want to do now that I'm quickly back on YouTube in this capacity is I'm going to emphasize Apophis and slash wormwood, and the theory that if we're right, you can half expect me being a correct theory of being, or the theory of being correct of the beginning of the tribulation to be actually this October 14th, 2025. And with that, I want to just show other voices besides Neil deGrasse Tyson speaking towards Apophis. So then, you'll be watching other videos being narrated by other people besides Mr. Tyson. And let's get started, shall we? Okay, let's start this.
Chelyabinsk in the Soviet Union, or in Russia, sorry. That was visible to everybody in broad daylight, and you had to avert your eyes when it happened. And they felt a shockwave, and the shockwave broke windows and sent nearly 1,000 people to the hospital.
Imagine the following: a quiet night, the sky full of stars, and you, without realizing it, are looking at space. But what you don't know is that at that very moment, a gigantic rock is traveling towards Earth, following a strangely precise trajectory, or perhaps not so precise after all. This is Apophis, an asteroid named after an Egyptian deity of chaos. Curious, isn't it? A fitting name because its existence is, in fact, bizarre. Identified in 2004, this space rock quickly attracted the attention of scientists around the world. And why? Because it approaches us in 2029. And when I say approaches, I'm not talking about something millions of kilometers away. Apophis will pass at a distance of only 32,000 kilometers from Earth, practically grazing the planet. Now let's be honest, 32,000 kilometers might sound like a safe distance. After all, you can't even see the moon properly from here. But on the other hand, 32,000 kilometers is less than the orbit of many satellites. Yes, it will pass within our cosmic neighborhood. That's scary, right? On one hand, this proximity gives us a unique opportunity to observe the asteroid in detail that was previously impossible. On the other hand, it raises the question, what if something goes wrong? Apophis doesn't seem like the type of neighbor that warns when it's going to make a visit, and a collision with Earth would be, at best, catastrophic. Now, imagine what would happen if this asteroid suffered a slight deviation in its path, just a few degrees. A subtle variation that would bring it directly to meet us. Every second, scientists around the world are monitoring its orbit, but there's something disturbing about this story. There's a phenomenon that might be acting against us, something subtle but terribly effective, the Yarkovsky effect. And what would that be, you ask? The answer might be even stranger than you imagine. The Yarkovsky effect happens when an asteroid is unevenly heated by the sun. Yes, even sunlight can push a giant rock through space. This solar radiation, in its calmness, creates a gradual push, altering the object's trajectory. Imagine a giant asteroid being diverted as if it were a paper ball being blown off course. Bizarre, isn't it? This brings us to a very important point. If sunlight can affect an asteroid 340 meters in diameter, what else might be influencing its path? Are we really in control of the situation? Or are invisible forces conspiring silently to bring chaos, or rather, Apophis, towards us? You've probably thought about how many things around us happen without us noticing. Some are harmless, like the dust floating in the air without our attention. Others, like Apophis, are potentially scary and are far beyond our sight, or at least for now. Now let's return to our gigantic space friend, who moves silently through the cosmos. Apophis isn't just wandering aimlessly out there. It follows an incredibly precise yet bizarre trajectory. That's because, as we saw, besides gravitational influences, this asteroid is affected by something that seems almost like science fiction: solar radiation. The Yarkovsky effect, which we mentioned before, acts as a subtle and constant little push, gradually changing its path. And here's where the really strange side of this story begins. We're used to thinking of massive objects as something immutable, unshakable. An asteroid hundreds of meters in diameter seems, at first glance, like a gigantic heavy stone, impossible to be moved. But then comes the invisible factor. The sun's heat warms the side of the asteroid facing it, and that heat is released back into space in the form of thermal radiation. This process seems insignificant, but it's like a force that slowly pushes Apophis out of its original path. You might be asking yourself, okay, but how much does this deviation really matter? Well, enough to keep NASA on high alert. See, Apophis's orbit is studied with almost obsessive precision. Every day, computer models are updated with new data to predict the asteroid's exact future. And as far as everything indicates, in 2029 it won't hit us. At least probably not. What makes this phenomenon so scary is that we're not just talking about a simple calculation. The Yarkovsky effect, combined with Earth's gravity and other celestial bodies, creates a true cosmic ballet. A slip, a small adjustment here or there, and everything can drastically change.
I would say that it's totally, as all things are, totally in God's hands. If Apophis hits, it won't be a game changer, it'll be a world changer. It will, just like that old song, now it's gotten old, I forgot what it was at, but the world, it's the end of the world as we know it. Remember that song? It's the end of the world as we know it. Not the end of the world, just the end of the world as we know it.
Apophis could, hypothetically, enter something scientists call a gravitational lock hole. Strange, right? And what exactly is that? A gravitational lock hole is a small region of space where Earth's gravitational pull could alter Apophis's trajectory in a very dangerous way. Imagine a slightly open door, where if the asteroid passes exactly through the right point, its path could be redirected directly towards us in a future pass. Now the lingering...
Okay, now I think this is what Neil deGrasse Tyson has been referring to as the keyhole. I think Tyson said it was 600 miles in diameter. An area of space in which, if it goes through, it will affect its course on its return in 7 years, which would be April 13th, 2036. Now, old people like me, I don't expect to be around in 2036, which is 11 years from now, okay? Of course. That would make me in my mid to late 80s. I don't think I'll be here one way or another, just through natural causes. But you will out there for the most part, unless you're baby boomers.
Are we at the mercy of an inevitable collision? What can we do to prevent an asteroid of this size from hitting the planet? This possibility is scary, but the strangest thing of all is that we don't know for sure what will happen. But before you start panicking, remember that science, as bizarre as it may sometimes be, is our greatest ally. There are entire teams of specialists deeply studying all the variables. However, this combination of factors, from the sun's radiation to gravitational fields, continues to keep us in a constant state of alert. And this leads us to an intriguing question. Are we truly capable of controlling our destiny in the vast, unpredictable, and chaotic universe?
We are not capable.
Imagine the scene. It's 2029, and the night sky is about to transform into an impressive spectacle. Apophis, the colossal asteroid, will be so close to Earth that it can be seen with the naked eye, shining brightly in the sky. For astronomers, it will be a dream come true, but for the rest of us, it's a dramatic reminder that we are at the mercy of cosmic forces. Let's put that distance into perspective. When we say Apophis will pass about 32,000 kilometers from Earth, it might seem like a colossal number. However, if you've ever watched a science fiction movie, you know that this distance is only a fraction of what would be necessary to ensure true safety. In astronomical terms, 32,000 kilometers is practically a cosmic leap, as if a huge piece of rock is giving a very close hello. The spectacle will be visible to billions of people around the globe.
What you just saw, in fact, I'll back up. This part right here came from a movie called recent, I think it 2019 or 2022. This was out or 23. It's a movie film called Don't Look Up. You should watch it. And I think it has a lot to do with what we're listening to. And they've chosen to show this tiny clip from it. And Don't Look Up has DiCaprio is starring in it as an astrologist, and and him and a colleague discover this killer asteroid coming in. The one that's coming in is an Earth killer. It will kill all life on Earth in the movie, where Apophis will kill about a third of our planet. And since they believe it will hit very close to Southern California in the Pacific Ocean, or perhaps Southern California land itself, give or take, it's going to take care of this side of the globe, of North American and South American continents. Let's just continue.
Is giving a very close hello. The spectacle will be visible to billions of people around the globe, and it's something few of us have ever witnessed. Imagine an asteroid shining in the sky, so bright that it rivals satellites in orbit. Bizarre, isn't it? However, this proximity, as incredible as it is for observers and scientists, is also a source of unease. Here's a thought for you. While we are all marveling at the beauty of this cosmic event, scientists will be working frantically to ensure that nothing bad happens. The reason for this is that although Apophis does not represent an immediate threat of collision in 2029, its proximity is a crucial moment to collect data and better understand its trajectory and characteristics. Now you might be thinking, but how exactly do they expect to find out with this mission? That's where things get interesting. The goal isn't just to observe the spectacle, it's what comes after that really counts. Apophis's passage is a rare opportunity to study the asteroid in detail. How does it interact with solar light? What is its exact composition? And how is its movement affected by all these invisible factors? NASA, with its Osiris Apex mission, is a...
Okay, that's all I really wanted you to watch. I'm going to end this now. You'll be seeing other Apophis videos from me and Apophis related videos. It's coming. It's 6 weeks away, roughly. If this theory of Tom Horn is right, Tom believes that they're lying to us, that it's saying it won't hit us. NASA's lying, and that it will in 2029. That it's very likely then the beginning of the tribulation should start this October 14th, the end of the Jewish holiday festival called Sukkot, or Feast of Booths. And with that said, if you don't know Christ as your Savior, and you don't know for sure you're going to go to heaven, then ask Him to forgive you of your sins and take you to heaven based on His death and payment upon the cross. And if you can just trust in that promise and His death, then you will be saved. And with that, God bless, and let's end this.